Welcome back from the break as we continue our coverage of the third annual Melbourne Head Rowing Regatta. We'll cross straight to Cobber, who's with James Tompkins.
Right, we're here with three-time Olympic gold medalist James Tompkins. James, I noticed earlier in the day you've come down racing a single scull. How did that unfold for you?
Well, I enjoy the scull. I enjoy the fact that you can go out and train by yourself. But I had to decide to go down this morning and follow the rest of the boys down. And we don't often row that far down, Chris. So I had a little bit of steering problems early on, but once we got onto the course proper, I was fine and just tootled down the course.
Yeah, it seemed like you had it pretty well under control, so pretty pleasing to see there someone who's possibly better known as a sweep oarsman coming out and doing the sculling.
Yeah, I think that's a fair bet, Christopher, to say I'm better known for sweep rowing. The scull is purely a training tool, and that's it.
Rightio, we'll keep that in mind then. Okay, so we then moved on to the eight. The eight, it seemed like there was some pretty big margins between the crews when we got down to the end here, but the guess is possibly a bit of foxing up the start there?
No, foxing. It's just difficult with the big boats to get, we're starting right on the corner and it's quite difficult to get them nose to tail in that corner area. So, crew goes off, so you've got to get your boat into position, get it straight, and by the time you do that, it's probably 15, 20, 30 seconds before you actually get going. So the margins do stretch out a bit down the start.
James, you're often referred to as one of the elder statesmen of Australian rowing, but I noticed there today that the youngster of your crew was 27-year-old David Crawshay in the stroke seat. What sort of job did he do there, James?
The goat, commonly called the goat. He did a great job. I say to the guys after, I said that quite possibly could be one of the most comfortable scratch combinations. Just to get all the guys together, never rowed before, jump in a boat, away you go. And I thought we did a really, really good job. And Dave did a great job in the stroke seat.
Right, we're here now with Dan Ellis-Flint, who rowed today in the AIS Men's 8 and also in the single scull. Dan, originally from Queensland, so I suppose this beautiful Melbourne weather is quite a welcome retreat from the frosty climes of Canberra.
It sure is, mate. It's fantastic to get out of there. Canberra's a great training centre, but it really is good just to get away every now and then to make it appreciated. But yeah, couldn't ask for better weather, that's for sure.
Rightio, and what about the course? How did you find the course here today? I know up in Canberra you train on the big lake up there and you're possibly used to the Brisbane River, which is a little bit broader than this. How did you find the course?
Well, to start with, absolutely beautiful place to race and to train, I'd imagine. I finished the singles race and thought that I probably would have gone a little bit quicker had it been a Cox single. A little bit loose on the reins, but it was certainly much better in the 8 when we had the Cox steering for us. But a fantastic event. I think the actual width of the river makes for a fantastic sort of racing atmosphere. So thoroughly enjoyable day.
So welcome having the Coxswain on board, even carrying that little bit of extra weight, I suppose. Just looking at the 8s, and we made comment to the other 8s about the margins between the crews there at the finish, and it seemed like it was pretty wide open. We're taking a guess that there may have been a little bit of holding back there off the start. Would that be a fair assessment there?
Look, it's only early days, so we don't want to come out all guns blazing just yet. So a bit of a row over for the first 3K, and then we dumped it at the end. But who knows what the margins were at the start? So I suppose we'll just have to wait for the results to come out.
Rightio, well done, Dan, and we'll wait and see what the results reveal for us. Right, we've got 3 of the guys from the Melbourne University 8 that have raced here today in the Melbourne Head Regatta, and these 3 guys also are members of the Australian 8 that competed at Eton at the World Championships earlier this year. First of all here, Cam Mackenzie-McCarg. Cam, I noticed in training actually you've been rowing in I think it's been the 4th seat of the 8, but today I see a bit of a move down to the 6th seat.
Yeah, I got a promotion, which I was happy about. It's good mixing it up just sort of where you're sitting, so but I feel comfortable in the 6th seat.
Right, yeah, and Carsten Forsling over here. Carsten, I saw you there after you came in from the single and it looked like it had been pretty solid. How'd you back up there coming into the 8 then?
I think I was just foxing this morning, Cobber. Main event today was the 8. It's our first hit out back in the big boat. So we really had a good concentrated effort on the 8, and we had a pretty good row. But we'll wait and see what happens with the results. It's hard to tell.
Right, and James Marburg over here. I noticed that there was a fair margin there at the end. And now I'm guessing that they're pretty high quality crews. That there may have actually been a bit of foxing up at the start as to who went off at what sort of margin.
Yeah, we're not really sure what happened up there, Cobber, but it's not something that we worry about. We're just proud to be rowing as a single crew, all Melbourne Uni, 100% pure, and no mixing between clubs. So we believe that we can put out the strongest club crew, and that's all we're worried about, not anyone else.
Right, yeah, well done today, guys. We'll see what the results say. And it was the Melbourne University crew that came across the line first to record the quickest time for the day. They were then followed by the composite crew from the Australian Institute of Sport. They were in second position, and then back in third position the Mercantile Rowing Club crew with their youngest member there at 27 years of age. So some outstanding results over the day in the Melbourne Head Regatta, and one fiercely fought contest there in the men's B4, and ultimately that was won by the London Rowing Club crew. Then in the women's C8 they had world champion coxswain Lizzie Patrick on board, and she certainly steered them down the course to a victory in that division. The biggest field for the day was the men's A single scull, and it was 2004 Athens Olympian David Crawshay who came down the course at the quickest of time to take out the victory in that division. We're expecting big things from Kimberly Crowe, but she had to settle for second position as pocket rocket Alice McNamara took out the first place in the women's A single scull. In the men's School 8 with Scotch College, a very strong and polished performance there by that crew, stroked by Lachlan McKenzie. Certainly a day out for the London Rowing Club boys as they doubled up on the men's B4 win to come home and win the men's B Coxed 8.
Well, Cobber, it has been a sensational day at the Melbourne Head. The boats are starting to row back home, the sheds are starting to pack up, the crowd's starting to disperse up to the bar for a couple of frothies. It was pretty good, wasn't it?
It was a good day, and I think you're right on that last note. I think people will be plenty thirsty enough at the end of that day's racing.
Oh, there is no doubt about that. And I'd really like to thank you for your assistance throughout the day. It has been invaluable.
No problem at all. It's been a great day.
Sensational. And remember, if you're sailing over the horizon or even over your local pond, a bad day on the water is better than a good day at work. See you next week.